Welcome to the Akashic Records, from the Unveiled Mysteries by the Ascended Master Saint Germain, Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Guy Warren Ballard was a United States mining engineer and co-founder, together with his wife Edna Ann Wheeler Ballard, of the I Am spiritual movement, inspired by his life-changing meeting with the Ascended Master Saint Germain. One morning in 1930, Mr. Ballard, led subconsciously by his inner spiritual longing, went on a hike on beautiful Mount Shasta, located in the western US, where according to legend, a group of divine adepts reside, or could be seen. His sincerity and deep longing for the truth led to a profound experience that day. He was blessed by the appearance of the beloved Master Saint Germain. Following this enlightening encounter, Mr. Ballard devoted his life to spreading the Master's wisdom, according to his capacity. From Master Saint Germain's dictations and teachings, Mr. Ballard wrote a series of books under the pseudonym Godfrey Ray King. Master Saint Germain's imparted spiritual knowledge was the basis for many lectures given by Mr. Ballard, as well as for the founding of the I Am religious activity in the early 1930s. By the 1938, it had up to 1 million followers. Today, the volumes documenting the valuable mysteries revealed by the Ascended Master to Godfrey Ray King are still a fascinating spiritual gem for many across the globe. The three most famous volumes are titled Unveiled Mysteries, The Magic Presence, and the I Am Discourses. Ascended Master Saint Germain is deeply venerated among the Theosophical Society, as he represents the establishment of the Aquarian Age, an era that we are privileged to be witnessing. He is also identified with the Count of Saint Germain, a mysterious European figure who possessed a great inner knowledge and was called immortal by some due to his everlasting youth. Let's continue with excerpts from Godfrey Ray King's book, Unveiled Mysteries, that reveals secrets from the Akashic Records, as well as the true purpose of wealth in this world and its true owner. Excerpt from Chapter 3, The Royal Teton. We passed through the last door on our right and entered a room similar to that in the large hall, from which we had just come. The entire interior surface of this room is made of frosted gold. At the far end and on the side wall to our right, reaching from floor to ceiling, was a framework made of white metal that looked like frosted silver. In this framework, resting upon roller bearings, were containers made of the same metal. The lids of these containers gave classifications in hieroglyphics of the contents on the 4 spindles, within each the hieroglyphics being embossed upon every lid. The spindles were at least 10 inches long, and around every one had been wound a ribbon about 8 inches wide made of pressed gold alloyed with some material that made it tough and pliable, and yet no thicker than a piece of ordinary writing paper. The length of the ribbons of gold on the spindles varied from 7 to 50 feet, and on each were characters as if etched into the gold. These characters had been so perfectly done as to make the whole appear like script. This room contains records of many countries and the rise and fall of many civilizations, said Saint Germain. Handing me one of the spindles, he released the fastening, and I found to my astonishment that I could read its contents. I am enabling you to do this, he continued, by temporarily raising your consciousness and calling forth the hidden memory, the former record of these experiences which you once lived through. The matter of knowing God and His universe is but a contacting of the life record in every form. All forms contain life, and within the light emanation of every form is recorded its entire past, which anyone may train himself to discover and understand if he be willing to give his attention and time to the self-discipline necessary to still the confusion in the outer activity of his everyday existence. This eternal record within all things has existed from the beginning. In ages past, humanity manifested perfection in every way. This former condition of the race has been chronicled by historians as the Garden of Eden, Eden or Eden meaning divine wisdom. As the conscious attention of the outer activity of the mind was allowed to rest upon the world of the physical senses, the divine wisdom, the all-knowing activity of the consciousness, became clouded or covered over, and the cosmic divine plan of the individual's life became submerged. Perfection and conscious control by mankind over all form was hidden and forgotten along with it. Man became sense-conscious instead of God-conscious, and so manifested that to which his attention was directed and which he thought most upon. He deliberately and consciously turned his back upon the perfection and dominion with which the Father endowed him in the beginning. He created his own experiences of lack, limitation, and discord of every kind. He identified himself with the part instead of the whole, and of course, imperfection was the result. All mankind's limitation is the result of the individual's own misuse of the God attribute of free will. He compels himself to live within his own creations until, by the direct volition of the outer activity of his mind, he again consciously looks back to his royal beginning, God, the great source of all. When this occurs, man will begin to remember that which he once was, and may become again, whensoever he chooses to look once more at the great cosmic blueprint of himself. We crossed the council hall entering the opposite door and found a room similar in size to the one we had just left, with two smaller rooms adjoining it on the north wall. In the larger room, covering almost the entire wall surface, was more metal framework filled with containers, quite like those in the other room. These rooms, he continued, contain only gold and jewels that are to be used for a special purpose, which will bless the entire world when mankind has transcended its unbridled selfishness. Here, he drew forth a container filled with gold coin and went on explaining. This is Spanish gold lost at sea, and we, seeing it would not be recovered by other means, brought it here through the activity of certain forces which we govern. Later, in a time that is rapidly approaching, it will again be sent forth for use in the outer world. In these containers, indicating another section, gold is stored from the lost continents of Mu and Atlantis, the ancient civilizations of the Gobi and Sahara deserts, Egypt, Chaldea, Babylonia, Greece, Rome, and others. If all this gold were to be released into the outer activity of the world, it would compel sudden readjustment in every phase of human experience. At present, it would not be the part of wisdom. The infinite wisdom and power of those great cosmic masters who have been the guardians of the race since its first appearance upon earth is almost beyond the comprehension of the human mind. No one in this world ever accumulated a great amount of wealth without the assistance and radiation of some ascended master. There are occasions in which individuals can be used as a focus of great wealth for a specific purpose, and at such times greatly added power is radiated to them, for through it they can receive personal assistance. Such an experience is a test and opportunity for the growth. all unusual accomplishment that takes place in human activity, no matter what the particular channel may be, is always attained through the assistance of superhuman love, wisdom, and power from an ascended master, because he has transcended all limitations of the physical world, and for this reason, more than ordinary success is due to his greater power through radiation. We next entered the two smaller rooms, which were also equipped with the same kind of containers, only not as large. These were filled with jewels of all kinds: diamonds, rubies, pearls, emeralds, and sapphires, classified as to variety and quantity. Smilingly, he turned to me and said, "Now you know and understand that the great God Self is the only royal owner and controller of all wealth. That presence appoints keepers of his treasures on every plane of life, whether it be light, wisdom, substance, or physical riches. You are calm and poised, I see, while we are observing this phase of our activity, and that is well. It reveals your inner strength and ability. You have been shown proof that it is we who really govern the wealth of the world, and use it but as a test of the soul strength of the individual. It is always a trust given to those who should be strong enough to use it only constructively. But few, very few, really pass that test under the temptation existing in the world at large today. If we choose, we can raise the humblest of God's children who have sufficient preparation into wealth, power, and prominence, if by so doing, help can be given to many others through such accomplishment. For more information on the Ascended Master Saint Germain, the I Am Teachings, and Godfrey Ray King's books, please visit saintgermainfoundation.org or saintgermainfoundation.ch.
Continue with your war. No matter how people become poorer and suffer because of it, you still sit on high in luxury, pleasure, and enjoyment. People can see this is true evil.
Magnificent viewers, it was a pleasure that you could join us today.